What's up there, Facebook? Hope you're all doing well. In this training, we're going to be talking about how to increase your sales by 30%. As you guys are tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. How to increase your sales, right? Conversion rate. Right, this is what we're going to be talking about today. How to increase your sales conversion rate by 30%. As you guys are tuning in, what I want you to do is I want you guys to share the stream so more people can hear this particular information that we're going to be talking to you guys about. We're talking about today how to increase your sales conversion rate by 30%. So as you guys are tuning in, let us know where you're choosing in from. Like and share the stream. Let more people hear this information that we're going to be talking to you all about today, because we have an exciting day planned for you guys. How to increase your sales conversion rate by 30%. Now, look, over the last 13 years I've been selling now, right? 13 years. So it's like I've done tens of thousands of phone conversations with people, tens of thousands of hours worth of sales conversations that I've had with people as well. And over the last 13 years, I've put in place very specific sales processes that I've worked through for many industries now, right? From coaching, consulting to real estate to the finance industry as a whole. Broad spectrum of that, through to selling to corporate direct, right down to selling from business to business, business to consumer, and through multiple different channels of conversations that I've had, multiple different types of industries, a very broad spectrum of different types of processes that I've gone through, trials, tests, all that type of stuff, right? So specifically today, we're going to be talking about how to increase your sales conversion rate by 30%. What does this mean for you? I think a lot of business owners these days, like they're all looking at this bright, sparkly marketing, tool that's going to, give them the ultimate results. And hey, if I just had a few more leads, if I just had a few extra leads coming to my business every single day, it would then magically result in more sales. It couldn't be further from the truth. It's like there's little simple tactics that you can use within what you currently have to get one additional sale, to get two additional sales, to get three additional sales, whether it be per month, per day, per week, through a multitude of different processes, right? So it's like with all of this, you want to just work on what you have at the moment. And if you're getting leads at the moment, whether it be referrals, whether it be whatever, it's like, what can you use within the current assets that you have right now to increase what you can do production wise from what you currently have. And for a lot of businesses, right, like our mindset is very, very different around sales. I had the pleasure of working with a few of our scale partners recently, and even a few of our other business relationships that we've got, and reviewed and even sat in on some sales meetings and some, just sort of fly on the wall conversations, right? And I look at their sort of sales process, and I look at the way that they're doing things currently, and I look at the way that, they run meetings and all this type of stuff, and all of it in the broad spectrum comes down to a couple of things. A lot of people, they get stuck and they go, I need more leads to get more sales, right? And then other people go, I need better quality, right? A lot of people go, if Google's better than Facebook, right? People go, Facebook's better than Google, right? And all these different I call these stories. That's all they are. They're just stories. And if you wonder why you're not getting a result in your business, right, it's all down to the way you think. And our company and our salespeople are what I call very different, right? Very different mindset. And when you look at it, so far to today, our team's done, team of 2 this week have done 1,500 calls already, okay? We've got guys that do 200 to 300 calls a day. And, they're doing 200 to 300 calls a day, and the average salesperson struggles, or business owner struggles to do 20, sometimes 10. And we're like 20xing them in production at the moment. So very different mindset, very different way of thinking, and very different way of looking at sales in the broad spectrum of what it is. And this is like there is a difference between the high producers in sales compared to the people that are just getting by. And you got to ask yourself the question, right? Am I happy with just getting by and with what I have currently, or do I want more? And for a lot of you, I'd hope that you would say, yeah, I want more. I hope you would say that. However, for a lot of people, they say they want more. However, the actions speak differently. So sales is, and when it comes down to increasing your conversion rates, right, you got to start looking at what you have, right, as opposed to what you want, right? So you probably want to write that down. Start looking at what you have as opposed to what you actually want. And all of this is a want, right? And it's not looked at as what you currently have, okay? So when I say what you currently have, this is what I mean. Data. Data is names, emails, contact numbers. That's your data base, right? It's called your data base. What does that also mean? Sales base, right? So looking at your database, your sales base that you currently have for your business is incredibly important, right? Because, you could look at more leads, you could look at getting more sort of volume through and all this sort of stuff. However, it really means nothing. Your data base, right, should be the basis of your business, right? That's where you should produce large proportions of your results, okay? So when it comes to getting more sales, right, and increasing your conversion rates by 30%, right, it's not only looking at what you want, it's looking at what you have currently. Because what you have is a huge amount of data to base your business on. Okay. And if you're in the early stages, right, this is exactly what you got to be looking at, database. So database doesn't only mean just an email marketing system that you've got in place, right, with all names, emails, contact numbers. It's also like your network. What is your network? Who in your network needs your help, right? Who can you speak to? Who can you reach out to? Who can you have a conversation with? Who has your audience, right? This is all your database, okay? Database. The database, it's your sales base. That's where your business's foundations are. Okay? So this is what you got to be looking at. You got to be looking at, right, when it comes to increasing your sales rate, conversion rate by 30%, you got to start looking at your base to start with. That's where everything starts from when it comes to your business. And it's your most powerful asset. Okay? So you got to look at your database. All right? And really, you got to look at people as well, okay? So you got to know the psychology of people, okay? Now, everybody knows this is an overused term. The overused term is that people, it does take 5 to 7 hits for someone to really sort of understand what you are or to even consider purchasing your product, right? If you're looking at, just sort of upfront, right? You're looking at upfront. I won't write this down. So if you're looking at, okay, I just want to speak to people that want my service, everyone that comes through wants your service in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, they wouldn't come to you. So that's what I mean. It's a mindset, right? You got to shift your mind to thinking differently, because your mind will tell you things differently when really the basis and everything that you've got in front of you is there. People don't just, like, if you don't want leads right now in your business, you can't handle leads. You're not going to like speak to somebody who or download something or get access to some sort of resource or speak to someone about your business around lead generation if you don't freaking need it, right? You might watch a few videos on social media or something like that, but that's about it. You're not going to reach out to somebody. If your business is thriving and absolutely dominating right now, and you can't keep up with the workload, you're not going to come to someone for leads. You're not even going to have time to go to someone for leads, right? However, on the other hand, if you're getting plenty of leads and you're not getting sales, well, yeah, okay, you're going to go to somebody for sales support, right? Or you're going to go to somebody to help you sort of spruce up your sales process, right? So you guys get the point. So you got to understand the psychology of people. Sometimes it takes that 5 to 7 times, right? 5 to 7 times. Oh, that looks like 57, doesn't it? So 5 to 7 times to really get someone interested, get someone open, get somebody to go, okay, I know this person, I like this person, I trust this person, there's a relationship there with this person. Yes, I think this person can help me, all that type of stuff. Yes, I understand who this person is and what this person does. That's what it takes. Sometimes it can take, and I've had a lot more than this, by the way, up to 21 times or exposures, right, to actually get somebody to like hand over their credit card. So you got to keep this in mind when it comes to your sales process. So up to 21 exposures it can take. I've had, my record is 177 exposures for someone to buy. That's phone calls. Doesn't include emails. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean to you as the business owner? Exposures, and it's, you know, that's getting somebody early as well, right? So that's without emails, it's without text messages or anything like that. That's 177 exposures. It's a friggin' lot of exposure. And you're going, holy crap, I don't even make 177 calls a week. I don't even make 177 calls a month. Some of you don't. And that right there is the reason why you got to focus on your database, which is your sales base. So when it comes to these exposures and when it comes to sort of converting at a higher rate, right? What a lot of people are doing through their marketing is they're just accepting email, okay? And as part of that, I mean, emails, just accepting email on the front end of marketing is great. However, you're relying on about 3% of people to take some sort of action on your product. And a lot of people are talking about, hey, I just want to get people to buy online, all this type of stuff. You're actually looking at a lower rate than that, which is insanity, right? So when it comes to increasing your sales by up to 30%, you got to switch up your process. It all comes from your process. So yeah, you're going to have emails, you're going to have automation, you're going to have text message automation, you're going to have all this type of stuff, but at the end of the day, everything comes back down to process. If you haven't got a strategy or you haven't got a process, how do you know what works? How do you know what doesn't? How do you know to increase the conversions, right? How do you know what's work? How do you know any of that? You don't know any of it. And this is the areas that you must fix up because it's incredibly important. Okay. So you guys have questions around sales, hit me up in the comments. I will be answering questions as well. So increasing your sales, this is how you do it. You got to work on your process. And you got to work on exposures. And you got to show people proof. Right? Process, exposures, proof is what it comes down to. People want to know, hey, this person knows what the freaking hell they're talking about. People want to know they're safe. Okay? It's funny, right? I'll give you a funny story. I'm a single guy, right? I'm very focused on business. When it comes to relationships and when it comes to, sort of working on that side of my life, it's a very different ball game. There's a lot of people, right, when it comes to these dating apps and stuff like that, they've had horror stories when it comes to dating, right? And when it comes to dating, they have, they might have had absolute creeps turn up on the date, or, they felt really nervous, or, they were very, upset by their last date. Their last date was an absolute asshole or whatever, okay? And there's a particular situation where I met a girl on Tinder, and we were talking, and, I'm a very straightforward, upfront, confident guy, right? So, I'm not going to muck around. I want to meet, okay? I want to meet somebody. So, so what happens is, she says, I'm not dating anybody on Tinder at the moment. I'm not doing any Tinder dates at the moment because I'm scared, okay? So that is what you're working through in your sales process as well. It's the exact same, okay? So it's process exposure proof to make people feel safe, okay? And sorry about that. So you got to make people feel safe and secure through the process to know that they're in the right place, okay? And it all comes down to process, exposures, and proof. So this is how you do it. Traditional people go, I'm going to do a one call close. What happens? I end up speaking to some people for 45 minutes and they don't buy. And they never ever were going to buy. That right there is wasted time. And that's just one exposure. That's what traditional people do. That's what traditional salespeople do and businesses do. So that right there, you're losing sales and you're wasting time. So what we did, and I've done this in real estate, I've done this in finance companies, I've done this in various different types of sales roles through multiple different types of industries, right, is the first call is just a qualify. So it's like, we do not work with just anybody. We don't do it. We don't just work with just anybody, okay? We got a process that we follow, and, we don't sell on the first call, ever. And the person must prove themselves that they're going to be a right fit for what we do. We're not going to sell on this call. People want to know price. People want to know, what's the next steps to work forward? How do we work with you? We want to work with you, all this type of stuff. But what do? We don't sell. We don't sell. Say, hey, we don't know if we're going to be a right fit together. And myself, personally, I don't want to work with people I don't like. I don't know about you guys. But people, if I don't like them, I don't want to work with them. I'm sorry. I don't care how much you're going to pay me. You could pay me a couple of $100,000 a year and I'm still not going to work with you because, I don't like you. We don't vibe. So the first section, right, is an exposure. It's also authority. And it is also qualify, are we going to be a right fit? And we don't sell. First exposure. So they've just had multiple exposures from marketing campaigns, emails, text messages, all this type of stuff. Now they've just had another exposure and they've been introduced to us or to you as a business. So that's like the first exposure. Then within the next, call it 24 to 48 hours, right? We want to jump on the phone for the next step of the process. Okay? And that's where you hold your sales conversation. However, there's still an element of that person proving to themselves, right? So what we're doing, it's like, we're auditioning people for an acting role, right? The acting role is to work with your business. So, and it's the same as, it's an interview process, right? Like people don't just come to work for you, right? And just get a job straight away, right? They're like, it's an interviewing process. Like, are you a right fit for our company? Do you meet our culture? All this type of stuff, okay? All important. So qualify. This is the sales process. Now, the ways to increase your sales is like this, the exposures. Now, first of all, you got to take authority or set the tone, right? The first part of the call, and you get agreements. You got to get agreements from it. The second part is you've got to have questions. Most salespeople, whether they're business owners, if you're a business owner, you're still a salesperson, right? So you got to have questions to ask the person, because you really got to, before you can pitch a product or even see if someone's going to be a right fit or whatever, you got to understand where they're at. It doesn't matter whether it's health and fitness products, whether it is, selling coffee to coffee roasters and blah, 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 or whether you're selling from business to business, business to consumer. It doesn't matter on the product, the service, whatever. You've got to have some questions to ask somebody to find out where they are at. Okay, we call it strategic questioning, right? So you must be asking that. Next thing is you want to know why. Why you? Why have they come to you? Why have they chosen to spend XYZ amount of time with you today to solve the problems that they've got? Why have they chosen you? Why is it important? And you want to dive deep into that side of it. Why is it important? Why now? What's going on? Why? Why? Next step of the process. Now, through this conversation, or we've set a tone, we've had authority, we've asked a heap of questions, we know where they're at, we know why they've chosen us, why they decided to book a time with us. The next part is we want to know where they're going to go, or goals, you could call it. Where do people want to go with this? That's a really crappy G. Where do people really want to go? You got to understand where someone's at, where they want to go before you can work out how to get there. It's a road map, right? Or some people call it the road to the sale. Like throughout the car industry and all these types of industries, they talk about, the road to the sale. That's what they talk about. That's the process, okay? Everything's based on exposure. Everything's based on building. There's heaps of 1%ers to all of this. I won't go through that today because we're just talking about increasing your conversion rates, right? So, and it's all about this particular process. So you got to know their goals, where they want to go, what's important to them, and deepest, darkest secrets, this type of stuff, right? The next part is you want to see, what are the roadblocks? Right? What are the roadblocks? What's held someone back from getting to where they want to go now? What's holding them back? What's stopped them until today to get this going? Why hasn't it worked on their own so far? Why haven't they done it by themselves right now? Okay? That's what you want to understand. Why haven't they done it by themselves right now? There's a reason why they haven't done it themselves. So there's that side. You want to know what the roadblocks are. You guys have questions, hit me up with questions. I'll get on to the next one in a second. I'm just going to check some comments from you guys as well to see what's going on here and if you guys have any questions. Wonderful. Jump on quick. Hey there, Serena. Hey there, Susan. Hope you're doing amazing. Okay, cool. So, can hear me. Okay, I'm glad you could hear me, right? I didn't even ask if you guys could hear me. I could have been just talking to nothing this whole time. Okay, cool. And I noticed you can't quite see there, so hopefully that helps a little bit more. Okay, cool. We can hear you now also, Jarrod. Fantastic. I'm glad you guys can hear me. So today, as you guys are tuning in, I'm just basically going to go through the last part of how to do this very shortly and increase the sales by 30%. It's all down to the process. I'm going to get to that in a moment. I'm just looking through some comments right now just to see if any of you have any other questions as I'm going as well. So, hey Serena, where is Jarrod based? Yeah, I'm based in Perth, Western Australia. I used to live Bali. Okay, cool. You guys are just having conversations on my feed, and that's okay. Networking is what it's all about. I want you guys to network as well. Okay, what else we got here? So Jarrod goes live with Amazing Valley every day, 6 days a week. Yep, fantastic. Okay. Jarrod's a cool guy. Sometimes. I can be sometimes a cool guy. I'll have to catch later. I have to go to bed. Coaching call 7 a.m. Yeah, all the best with your coaching call and everything, Laurie, as well. You'll probably find this super valuable, this training today. How you been anyway? Just let us know in the comments. If you're still here. All good. When you're around, can make that. It's awesome. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so there's no other questions, right? So we're gonna go into the next sort of steps with this. So what have we done here? So we've gone authority, we set the tone. We've asked a heap of questions to find out where someone's at. What's happening right now? We're having more exposures. We're interested in people, right? We're not interested in our own self-interest. It's not even about us, this process. It's about them. We know why it's important for them to do it now. We know what their goals are. We know where they want to go. We know what the roadblocks are that's held them back. Here, you want to give them what we call a value stack. And this is where you are set aside from any other company. By far, I'm talking people are going to have conversations with you and they're going to say this. Oh my God, you are like, I've never ever had this type of information from any other coaching company. I've never had any of this type of conversation with any other company in my whole entire life, right? A value stack is what you must have in your process, and it's usually 2 to 3 key points within a plan to be able to help them go from where they are to where they want to go on the goals and overcome these roadblocks that have held them back. Okay, I'll repeat that again. It's a value stack to show them where they are in terms of the questions and what you've got there so far, to where they want to go to their goals over the next 12 months and overcome these obstacles all in the value stack. And it's usually 1 to 2 points that you would share in this particular stack. Okay. Welcome, Ida, to the call. Hope you're doing amazing. So you must have a value stack. After that, we've got a pitch. Then it's like, I guess sort of the main questions from here that you'll have is, I guess, how much does it cost and how can we support you on your journey to getting these goals, correct? And I'll say, oh yeah, of course, how can you do that? So you've just stacked so much value into it and you're usually around sort of that 40-minute in to the phone call right now. And then from there, the next question is you go through the pitch, right? All you're going to need is sort of this time with us. This is what we'll do. This is how we'll help you. This is the process. This is what's included. This is your expectations. Your situation's very similar to a client of ours. All this type of stuff will go into the pitch. And then it's the close. Right? It's the close. Then you just go straight into the close. And I tell you one friggin' thing, if you just do this one thing, you will be better than 80% of people. Do you guys want to know what that is? Because, hey, I won't share it if you don't want to know. If you want me to share it, just type yes in the comments. Hey, I got to have some fun with this as well, right? So if you guys don't want to hear it, don't type yes into the comments. I'll give you guys 10, 15 seconds. Otherwise, I'll move on. There's just one thing, only one thing that will make you better than 80% of the people that jump on and do sales, and you will grow your business faster. One thing. Do you guys want to know what that is? 15 seconds is almost up. Okay, I'll move on from it. So it's about, you don't want to know. Okay, you don't want to know SERENA. I think this is a little bit behind at the moment. Well, if you don't want to know SERENA, that's okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this to you a few times. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'll share it, right? So the way to make yourself 80% better than any other salespeople is just ask for the money. 80% of salespeople do not even ask for the money. They do not even ask for the close. How do you want to get started, Visa or MasterCard? They don't ask. And what happens in life? If you don't ask for something, you don't get. Okay, it's as simple as that. You don't ask for something, you don't get. And this is the way it works. 80% of salespeople don't even ask for the money, so you're already 80% better if you just ask. Okay, a lot of people think of this as an uncomfortable thing, right? Asking for money. And, that's the reason why businesses aren't successful, because they just don't ask for the money. That's why salespeople don't get the result, because they don't ask for the money. So every single conversation, you ask for a Visa and MasterCard. Every single time. If you don't get it, right? If you're at a restaurant and you're unhappy with the food, right? You could walk away unhappy with the food, or you can ask them to fix it. So you do walk away happy with what you've just eaten. There's two choices in life. You can put up with things, or you can go and get what you want. Okay? And if you do not ask, you do not get. So 80% of people, most alarming friggin' stat that I've ever come across in my whole entire life, 80% of people don't even ask for the money. So this is how you go about increasing your conversion rates of your sales process, right? How you go about increasing your sales by up to 30%. Now, I could talk about all this all day, because there's literally other aspects to all of this as well. If you want us to help you design the sales process for your business that closes at a minimum of 30 to 40% of the prospects that you have coming through from your marketing right now, or if you just want us to be able to just scope all of this out for you, so that when you do have marketing coming in, that you can close predictably. If you want that, just type sales into the comments and we'll reach out to you with all the details as to what that's going to look like as well. Okay, so really, this is how you go about doing this. Is the process, right? As I said, with everything, it's about process. You must have a process to go through. If you don't have a process, there is no way that you're going to close. There's no way you're going to grow your business. There's no way you're going to get the revenue. There's no way that you're going to go to a new level. You're going to stay where you are. If you don't ask for the money, you'll just fit into 80% of other salespeople who are just average, right? I don't think you guys come to this page to learn because you want to be average, right? If you do want to be average, just unfollow the page because this isn't for you. But I'm guessing that you guys don't want to be just average. You want to do something with your life. You want to make a bit of an impact. You want to help people. You want to help you, and it's okay if you just want to help yourself to start with, because you got to start with yourself, unfortunately, right? You got to start with yourself. And everything starts with you as a person. You help yourself first, and what happens as a result? You really, quite simply, you start with yourself. Money amplifies people, right? If you were a real asshole without money, you're going to be an even bigger asshole with money. If you are a generous person with no money and then you get more money, you're going to be even more generous, right? So I like to think that all of you are generous and all of you are decent people that come to this page, and all of you are people that want to give more to your family. You want to give more to people that you love. So this particular sales process that I'm talking about today is a dangerous process, right? It's a very dangerous process. You can use it to get absolutely anything that you want. So you could use it for bad reasons if you want. So I'm hoping that you guys aren't that at all, because yeah, it can be used for very, very high levels of psychology. You can make people really cry, break down in this particular process as well. You've got to be really careful with it, because you can dig really deep and really make people feel shit about themselves, right? So I really, really hope that none of you are going to be using that, because if I hear wind of it, I'm not going to be happy. And because I'm a Scorpio, you don't want to make me bad, right? You don't want to get on the bad side of me. I'm a Scorpio. And you've all heard about the Scorpios, right? And remember to be the warrior. I'll speak with you all very, very soon. If you want us to design a personalized sales process for you and your business, script it all out, get it in place, make it happen, hit us up. Just type sales into the comments and we will reach out to you with all the details. Till then, peace out. Speak soon. Implement all of this. Make it happen. Let us know how you go. Follow the page. And if you're already getting results, give us a review at the top as well. Speak to you soon, guys. Bye.